The Nag are warlike beings. They were the last to arrive and settle on Lacey and are an aggressive, disagreeable species. Folks, we've got a problem. A big, hairy problem. It's called the Nag, referred to herein as the gang, and their greed knows no bounds. They've been gobbling up resources, polluting the planet, and leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. And guess who's paying the price? You. Me. All of us. This isn't some far-off threat. This is happening right now, right under our noses. Let's talk about the frontier farmers for a minute. These are hard-working folks who have dedicated their lives to feeding our nations. They toil day in and day out, battling the elements, sweating under the sun, all to bring food to our tables. And how does the gang repay them? By making their lives a living hell. The gang's reckless policies have poisoned the land, polluted the water, and driven many farmers to the brink of ruin. Their crops are failing, their livestock are dying, and their livelihoods are hanging by a thread. These are proud, independent Licinians who have always taken care of themselves. But they can't fight this alone. They look to us, to their fellow citizens, for help. They see the fear in their children's eyes, the despair in their spouses' faces. They feel the weight of generations of hard work slipping away. They are angry, and they have every right to be. We can't let them down. We can't stand idly by while the gang crushes the spirit of these hard-working Licinians. We need to show them that we have their backs, that we stand with them in their fight for survival. And then there's the Khan nation. Caught in the crossfire of this economic warfare, they're suffering under the weight of crippling sanctions. Now, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on international relations, but I know a raw deal when I see one. These sanctions, they're not hurting the gang, they're hurting ordinary citizens. Families struggling to put food on the table, children denied essential medicine, businesses forced to close their doors. It's a Licinian crisis, plain and simple. The gang likes to paint the Khan nation as the enemy, but let's be clear, the real enemy is their greed, their utter disregard for the suffering of others. They're playing a dangerous game of economic chess, and innocent Licinians are getting caught in the crosshairs. We need to remember that there are real beings on the other side of those sanctions. Mothers, fathers, sons and daughters who just want what we all want, a chance at a decent life. We can't let the gang use them as pawns in their twisted game. We are suffering, struggling to survive under these sanctions. Our children are hungry, our elderly are sick, and we are desperate for relief. We are not the enemy. We are just citizens trying to live our lives. This isn't a partisan issue, folks. This isn't about left versus right, or Anzacan versus Ejukan. This is about right versus wrong. It's about standing up for what's just, for what's fair, for what's decent. It's about rescuing our planet from the clutches of greed and corruption, the frontier farmers, the citizens of Khan, and countless others who have been marginalized and silenced. We need to come together. We need to recognize that our struggles are interconnected, that an injury to one is an injury to all. Divisiveness is what the gang thrives on. They want us to be at each other's throats, too busy fighting amongst ourselves to notice that they're the ones picking our pockets. But we're not falling for it anymore. We're smarter than that. We're stronger than that. It's time to put aside our differences and unite against a common enemy. Let's show the gang that we are not nations divided, but nations united in our pursuit of justice and a better tomorrow. We must join hands, stand together and fight for our collective future. The gang's tyranny will not prevail if we unite and stand as one. The gang's greed isn't just hurting us here at home, it's wreaking havoc on a global scale. From the melting polar ice caps to the deforestation of the Taiji-Bano rainforest, the consequences of their actions are being felt around the world. They're like that kid who dumps all the kunos on the floor, plays with them for 5 minutes, and then walks away, leaving the mess for someone else to clean up. Except, in this case, the mess is our planet. We're talking about climate change, mass extinction, resource depletion, issues that threaten the very fabric of life on Lacey. This isn't some abstract, far-off problem, folks. This is happening right now, and it's only going to get worse if we don't act. The gang may think they can hide behind their money, but Lacey doesn't care about their wealth. Nature always bats last, and when it does, it bats hard. We're already seeing the warning signs: more extreme weather events, rising sea levels, widespread crop failures. This is it, folks. This is our last stand. The time for complacency is over. The time for half measures is gone. We're at a crossroads and the path forward is clear. We need to fight back. We need to resist. We need to rise up against the gang and their tyranny of greed. I know what you're thinking. What can I do? I'm just one individual. You're right. You are just one entity. But guess what? So is everyone else. And when we all stand together, when we raise our voices in unison, we become a force to be reckoned with. We need to hit the gang where it hurts their wallets. We need to boycott their products, divest from their companies, and support businesses that share our values. We need to hold them accountable for their actions and demand change. This isn't a time for apathy, folks. This is a time for action. It's time to channel our anger, our frustration, our outrage into something constructive. It's time to show the gang that we're not going to take it anymore. Call your representatives, write to your newspapers, organize protests in your communities, spread the word on social media, talk to your friends and family, educate yourselves on the issues. Every little bit helps. Don't let them tell you that you're powerless, that your voice doesn't matter. That's exactly what they want you to think. They want you to feel small, insignificant, hopeless, but you're not. We're not. We have the power to change things. We have the power to create a better future. But we have to act now. The longer we wait, the harder it will be to turn things around. We are the many and they are the few. We have the power to create change, but only if we act together. We need to harness the collective anger, the shared frustration, the burning desire for a better world. The gang may have money on their side, but we have something far more powerful. Collective power. We have the power of our voices, our votes, our wallets. We have the power to make a difference. Let's show the world what happens when ordinary folks come together to fight for what's right. Let's send a message that echoes through the halls of power. Enough is enough. The time for greed is over. The time for justice is now. This is our moment. Let's seize it. Let's create a future worthy of our children and grandchildren. Let's build a world where the gang's greed is nothing more than a distant memory.